Well, after a frankly embarrassing amount of time, I've finally gotten around to reading The Lucent by Michael Bancroft, a tale of supernatural, superpowered intrigue whose narrative spiderwebs outwardly into the ancient past and the surreal depths of imagination. I'm not going to spend time filleting Michael's art, though it certainly deserves it.
At auction, that should be worth $30,000 to $50,000. And in fact, I would expect it to make probably the upper reaches of that estimate, 40 or 50,000.
That's absolutely wonderful. Wow.
I found the story of The Lucent to be
not quite my tempo.
By which, of course, I mean it's a style of storytelling that I literally couldn't produce myself. I didn't just use that title and thumbnail to lure you in, Michael. But here, let me show you what I mean using graphs and charts. Imagine this is a story. On the y-axis, we have the epic, which I am defining as containing everything from the stakes, the details, the drama, the grandiose, and their meaning. It's the reason why readers pick up your book to begin with, and the carrot that pulls them through the narrative. On the x-axis, we have the reader's knowledge. It is everything that the reader knows about the story as it progresses. Obviously, this must start at 0, as they don't know what is happening when reading it for the first time. Now, if I were to plot out the Lucent along this chart I just invented, it would look something like this. We are dropped into a world where we know nothing, yet the stakes are dialed up to their apex. And over the course of the story, we come to understand more. Not near approaching our fullest of understanding because it's the first book in the series, but we still progress in that direction over the course of the narrative. Now, you may hear that and think what I'm describing is simply en medias res, or when a story opens in the middle of a major event, with other events implied to have already happened. But I'm not, because typically with en medias res, these events are easily discernible, while in The Lucent, what is even happening is totally foreign to the reader. We have zero frame or context with which to understand them. It's a mystery that frames a larger mystery. This is what I mean when I say that this is
Not quite my tempo.
not because it's bad, but because it's a style of storytelling that I am genuinely incapable of. If I were to make a plot on this graph of how I write stories, it would look something like this. Nearly everything I write has to lead the reader to the stakes, bit by bit and breadcrumb by breadcrumb. Even in my series How to Die, where people have ridiculous powers and it's hard to see just where everything is going, it's framed in things like working at a video rental shop or visiting a convenience store with your dad. Small events that lead to big events. But this sort of reflection on my writing only became apparent to me after reading The Lucent, because, and this is my biggest takeaway from it, it is writing that, well, how do I put this? It has balls.
With balls!
And that is precisely what I feel like we need at the moment. Writing that has some fucking balls.
Have you got balls? Have you got hair on your balls?
There are story elements in The Lucent that I simply don't understand. And you know what? It's exciting. I don't know where people got the idea from that storytelling means making every minute detail blindingly apparent to readers. But not only is that not the case, it's oftentimes the opposite. Because the things that we don't understand are the things whose meaning is a canvas presented to the reader with the freedom to interpret, discuss, and ultimately remember. It's what keeps us talking about them long after the book closes. And if effectively crafted by the author, what makes those stories ripple down through the ages and live on forever. So, for my fellow writers out there...
Have you got balls? Have you got hair on your balls?
Sorry, but yes, I do have hairy balls.
Be like The Lucent and grow some fucking balls. Stop worrying about whether or not you've drilled every last detail and its meaning into the reader. Keep them guessing, keep them thinking, and let their minds, like Ella, leap out into the void.